Hi everyone. We need to do the second part of question 4D. The question says codominant alleles have combined effects. Discuss the inheritance of ABO blood groups and develop, notice what this says, 2 blood inheritance questions. So just like in question 4C, where you made up your own crosses, you're going to do the same thing here, where you're going to take a man and a woman and cross them, take a look at their offspring, and you're going to create 2 different questions. Whatever you choose for the blood types is totally up to you. So in 4D.1, we talked about how the most common way to type blood, or the most common method, is the ABO blood typing, and that was established by Carl Landsteiner and his mustache. And so we now need to look at the genetics behind this and how the alleles are passed on and inherited. So, blood type alleles. Like such. So, we write this as a capital I. I've never found the history as to why. We don't use B for blood, we use I, and I don't know why. So, we attach the A allele for the A glycoprotein, so it's IA. So the IA codes for the A glycoprotein. Now, you remember that the A really doesn't stand for anything significant. It's the first glycoprotein that Landsteiner discovered, and so he called it A. Then the allele for B is again capital IB. IB, get it? Codes for the B glycoprotein. But then you know there's a third choice. There's the people who have type O blood, but there's no such thing as the O glycoprotein. It's the lack of expression. It's the lack of A or B. So how we write that is a lowercase I. And so the lowercase I does not code for anything. It's a placeholder, it's a blank. So I'm type O blood. I don't have an allele to express any kind of glycoprotein in my red blood cell. So there's these 2 individuals. And there's Robert, and there's Dawn. She is type O. He is type O. So, Dawn and I are both type O. What's Emily's blood type? Has to be. Emily's blood type has to be O. And here's how you know that. So, Dawn, her phenotype is type O. Her genotype is little I, little I. I have the same blood type. I have the same genotype. Little I, little I. So, when you look at our Punnett square, it's not that exciting. So Dawn's contribution, my contribution, and hey, guess what? 100% of our children, we have a 100% chance of, ta-da, a type O child. That's the only choice. So you all know M's blood type. She's little I, and she's type O. Please don't make this one of your genetics problems. It's a little dull. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to choose a couple of different blood types. So let's get a couple here. And I don't know, let's make him type A, and let's make her type B. Fine. Except let's not make him IA. Let's make him IA little I, just for interest. And let's make her, you know what, let's make her double IB. Why? Because we're IB. Let's just do it. Okay, so let's see what their Punnett square would look like. So let's put his contribution here. So here's IA little I. Her contribution, IB. So, top box, IA, IB. Top right, IB, little I. Bottom left, IA, IB. And bottom right, IB, little I. Cool. Now the genotypic ratio, this is cool. Because there's 6 different choices. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? What are we looking at here? We're looking at IA, little I. So your A grouping comes first. So if the A's come first, then the B's come second. IB, little I. So see this as your A's and then your B's. And then you would have your ABs, and then hanging out on the end are your little I's. So there's 6 different choices for your genotype. Now you go back up and see who's in the box. I don't care if you have 10 different genotypes. The number here will always have a sum of 4 because there's only 4 choices in your Punnett square. So you have IA, IB. So you have 2 IA, IB. You have 2 of those. Then you have 2 IB, little I. And the rest of these get zeros. This isn't complicated. I agree that it takes a while to write out that whole line. It's not complicated. Your genotypic ratio is 0 to 0 to 0 to 2 to 2 to 0. Fine. But your phenotypic ratio. How many different phenotypes are there? Well, there's type A, type B, type AB, and type O. Type A. Whoops, that should be a B. Let's change that to a B. There we go, that's a B. Then type AB, and type O. So now these 2 individuals here both have the same phenotype. Don't forget that little I is nothing more than a placeholder. Okay, so that means that they don't produce any type A children. It's not possible. Or if she gives birth to a type A child, then that's not possible. She's type B. These 2 individuals here are here. This one goes there. This one goes there. 2. And same thing, doesn't matter how many choices you have, the sum is 4. So that is what I'm calling question 4D.2, because you're taking the ABO blood typing background, right? So have this as the first part of your answer. Talk about Landsteiner and ABO blood grouping. Then talk about RH and positive and negative and who can donate to whom and who cannot. And then the second part of your 4D question, you're going to create 2 of these genetics problems. All that you have to show are the parents, the Punnett square, and the genotypic and phenotypic ratio. That takes care of question 4D.